Hi, everybody. Welcome again to Enjoy English School. I'm Bruce.
大家好，我是 Bernice.
Today we start a 2-day lesson in our destination category of your magazine. A destination is the place you are going to, and that suggests that we're traveling.
Yeah.
And today's lesson is about somewhere to go, I can't say in Taiwan, but near Taiwan, part of Taiwan. The Beauty of Penghu. Tour around the islands by day and watch a grand show at night.
我们今天要讲的是澎湖之美，然后我们的白天呢就可以看看这个澎湖这个岛的风光，晚上可以欣赏它盛大的晚会。
The Beauty of Penghu. Penghu County is a chain of 90 islands off the western coast of Taiwan that stretches 60 kilometers from north to south. The landscape in Penghu is truly unique. Visitors can gaze at the beautiful basalt columns, which look like tall pillars placed next to each other to form a mountain with a flat top. These columns are the result of the rapid cooling and hardening of lava flows over a long period of time. Visitors can also look out across the clear blue ocean and see other islands. There are many things to enjoy on these islands, such as white sand beaches, sailing, and visits to lighthouses. The largest of the islands is Magong, where the airport is located. Many islands have a round shape, but Magong and the islands near it look like they are curling or twisting in the ocean. The weather in Penghu is quite nice with very little rain. However, the temperature can get very high in summer, and it can feel cold in winter because of the strong winds.
Okay, let's take a look at our first paragraph for today. Penghu County is a chain of 90 islands off the western coast of Taiwan that stretches 60 kilometers from north to south. Now, you've all heard of Penghu, but I'm surprised by how many Taiwanese have not yet gone there.
Me.
I've gone there 5 or 6 times. I love the place. I really do. And today and tomorrow you'll find out a lot of details. And if you choose the right time of year, I'm sure you'll have a good time there as well. So these 90 islands are in a group and about halfway between mainland China and Taiwan. They stretch. Stretch means to go from to, and usually some distance, not a short one, but stretch in the morning.
Yeah, right.
You make your body much longer than usual. And here, it stretches 60 kilometers from north to south. So that's quite a few islands, and many of the islands are unique. There's only one of that kind, certainly in Taiwan's area, but even in the whole world. Unique is spelled U-N-I-Q-U-E. U-N-I-Q-U-E. Unique. Only one of a kind.
对，刚才老师讲的那个字，形容词表示很独一无二的意思。好，那这边就讲到说，这个澎湖县，好，它其实是在我们台湾的西海岸。那么它呢，大概是有总共是有90多个这个所谓的岛屿所组成的。那么这个90个岛屿里面呢，它呢是从北边好到它的南边。延伸好延长绵延总共是60公里，所以像刚刚老师说的这个 stretch 它基本上不是一个短距离，它是一个稍微有一点长的距离，所以这边的距离是60公里。
The landscape in Penghu is truly unique.
Yeah.
I knew I'd seen that word before. Okay, landscape. There's also seascape, S-E-A-S-C-A-P-E. S-E-A, 海洋, S-E-A, one word, S-C-A-P-E. Now, landscape we're more used to because people live on the land, most of us. And so we have the mountains, we have the forests, we have rivers and canyons and beaches, beautiful forms of landscapes. And Penghu has kinds of landscapes, as I said, they're truly unique. And we'll be describing one of them. I can't remember if it's today or tomorrow, but I'm sure you've seen pictures of it. But to see it from a small boat and looking up at these giant pieces of landscape is really amazing.
哇，所以呢，因为 Bruce 老师去过那边5、6次了，我是一次都没有去过，所以老师描述起来会比我更加的，就是了解那边的状况是怎么样。所以他接下来的这个句子就是说呢，在澎湖的这个 landscape， 就是那个风景，陆地上面看起来那个风景，哇，真的是真正的非常独一无二的。
Okay, let's continue. Visitors can gaze at the beautiful basalt columns, which look like tall pillars placed next to each other to form a mountain with a flat top. Oh, it's amazing. No wonder they say this is unique. Okay, if you see these basalt columns, basalt is a kind of rock formed from volcanoes.
Yes.
And in this case, they just go straight up out of the ocean, straight up into the sky. I can't remember how many meters. It's some distance, but then they're flat on top. And it looks like they were carved. They don't look natural because you've never seen anything like it before. But you will be amazed and definitely see it from a boat.
Wow. 对，所以老师是坐在船上面这样子看的，哈，所以他就觉得好像是真的用人雕刻出来的，因为他觉得这个形状怎么会那么的特别。所以呢，如果各位游客要去澎湖的话呢，你就可以去凝视着这些非常美丽的，它叫做玄武岩柱。那这个柱子就像老师刚刚讲，它是从火山好喷发所形成的。那么它的外观其实是黑色的那种火成岩，哈。那么它呢，你可以看到这个美丽的玄武岩柱，然后这些柱子一根一根的哈，看起来呢就非常的高大的柱子，然后它们都是一个接着一个这样子并排的放着，那刚好就形成的上面呢是一个比较平坦的哈，一座顶部很平坦的一个山。
So you have seen them?
No. But I can describe it well. 对，我虽然没有看到，但是我可以把它描述的好像我看过一样。
Okay, and let's emphasize right at the beginning this gaze at something. We have many verbs in English to describe how we look at things. Gaze is if you think at night, if you're in the countryside and you've got a sky full of stars, you're not looking at each one like this. You're gazing. Or in the daytime, maybe you have flowers growing on the side of a mountain. You take your time and you almost take it in. This is the feeling of gazing at something.
好，所以老师刚刚解释了这个英文有很多的字在描述我们看东西的这个样子。那这个 gaze 它的意思就是好像你在晚上在欣赏，有没有？然后你呢放轻松的去欣赏一整个天空的那个星空或者是花朵，然后你把它好像把这些东西尽收眼帘的感觉。这时候我们就用到 gaze 这个字。
Okay, and let's finish up this first paragraph now. These columns are the result of the rapid cooling and hardening of lava flows over a long period of time. This sentence tells us how these structures were made.
Yeah.
We said from a volcano, but they hardened. Basalt comes from volcanoes, from very far underneath the earth. They're pushed up in lava forms, and sometimes, like in Hawaii, they just come out of the ground and then go down the side of the mountain and make a higher mountain, and it will go into the sea, and so the island will grow. But this is completely different. And we say in English, you have to see it to believe it.
要眼见为凭。好，所以它这个最后这一个句子就是形成的这个柱子哈，刚刚老师念那个字就是很大的那种石柱，然后它就是这一些刚才老师讲那个 lava 好这样子喷发出来之后呢，那么它产生了一种这个 are the result of 就是什么样的结果，它很快速的冷却了，然后再把它 hardening 就把它结起来很硬，然后呢就是这个 lava 喷发出来的，然后是经过很长的一段时间。
Okay, that's it for the first paragraph. Let's take a short break and then continue.
好的。
First sentence of the second paragraph. Visitors can also look out across the clear blue ocean and see other islands. Remember, there are 90 islands or so, and 60 kilometers from the north to the south, so about every 1.5 kilometers there's another island. And that's not that far, so sometimes if you're in the northern part of Penghu, it seems like a long time before you will see another island. They're farther apart. But once you go to the main island, which we will talk about more tomorrow, Ma Gong, the local people pronounce it Ma Ging.
Ma Ging? Oh.
Now you know some Penghu Hua.
OK 所以刚才那个发音还蛮特别的。OK 好，所以他一开始就是说呢，游客呢其实可以去 look out， 就是往外这样子看过去，眺望。因为它是 across， 好，所以它是在对岸的意思，所以你可以眺望到它那个非常清澈啊蓝色的这个海洋，还可以看到呢有一些其他的一些岛屿。
There are many things to enjoy on these islands, such as white sand beaches, sailing, and visits to lighthouses. Well, there's a lot of things to do, not only these three things, but on every island, of course, white sand is so nice when it's right next to that deep blue. In some places, it's a lighter blue because the water is not so deep on the west side of Taiwan Island, the main island of Taiwan. Lighthouses. That's one thing I love here in Taiwan. I live out on the north coast, Damzi, and we have lighthouses out there, but if you go around, there are lighthouses everywhere. And I don't know, I was in the Army, not the Navy, but I really enjoy seeing old lighthouses.
OK， 好 ，Bruce 老师特别喜欢灯塔啊，所以这边就讲到说呢，如果呢你去这个澎湖的话，你可以去玩一些什么样的活动哈？那就是不是只有这几个活动，就是这很多的事情，比如说第一个它有这个白沙滩哈，然后呢你可以去做这个 sailing， 然后再来呢你也可以去欣赏一下这个参观一下他们的灯塔。
The largest of the islands is Ma Gong or Ma Ging, where the airport is located. They're lucky that they have an airport there. It's a little bit like Lani, which is a small island, but there's just enough room for a small airport so that we can fly there. We can also fly to Penghu, and the times I've gone there, it's always been flying to the island. It saves time, and you get to see very far when you're in the airplane and you're coming into the islands.
对，所以这边讲到的最大的这个岛屿就是他们机场位在的地方，就是这个马公岛。
Many islands have a round shape, but Ma Gong and the islands near it look like they are curling or twisting in the ocean. Well, it's true. Islands formed by volcanoes, in general, have a rounder shape than those caused by lifting up of the ocean floor or some other mechanical forces from nature. But Ma Gong is weird. It has two long peninsulas and then another one, Bandao.
半岛呀。
Oh, and it has a great ocean, what would we call it? Think of a zoo, but for animals from the ocean.
Oh.
And just very well kept.
Wow.
It's a clean exhibit. It is well guarded. You know, kids can't make any trouble there, and lots of things, lots of ocean animals I never saw before. I never even imagined before. Make sure you go to that museum.
OK， 好，所以老师刚才介绍这个地方就是很像动物园，只是说它里面放的都是一些海洋里面的动物哈。他说这边就讲到很多的这一个他们的岛呢，其实都是圆形的。那老师刚刚讲为什么是圆的，是因为由火山好形成的，大概都是圆形的这个形状，所以它的岛屿都是圆形的。可是呢，马公跟它附近的这些岛屿，就它比较特殊，它是 curling， 就是这种卷曲的，或者是这种 twist， 就是扭曲的这种形状。好，在这个海洋里面，所以它是比较怪异一点。好，它跟其他的岛屿这个形状不太一样。
And remember to take sunscreen if you go in the summer.
一定要，所以夏天去可是要擦一下防晒的。
Because it's not only the sun from the sky, you've got all that sun coming off the ocean.
OK， 还有海洋上面的阳光都会晒到你的身上。
Spring and fall are the best times to go.
好，所以要春天或者是秋天的时候去是最好的。
And there aren't that many people at that time.
那时候人也是比较多的。
Okay, we can stop here, and when we come back, we'll continue with the next paragraph.
好的。
Okay, our final paragraph is a rather short one here. The weather in Penghu is quite nice with very little rain. We can say it's quite nice because in a sense, it's in the middle of the ocean, some distance from mainland China and from Taiwan. And the wind, it can get windy in the winter. Don't go in winter. But most of the year is quite nice. One of the problems they have, though, is there's very little rain. So sometimes the Navy has to take special ships that transport water from Taiwan Island to Ma Gong and other places. Most of the people in Penghu live in Ma Gong. It's a town. There really aren't any other towns. There's small villages on some of the other islands, but the best way to understand Penghu is to go there.
Yeah, 当然是。好，所以最后一段他讲到的是澎湖的天气。那像刚才老师讲，他们因为很少下雨，所以有的时候海军呢，他们要运送这个水到马公这个地方，因为他们那边也是有很多的村落，里面有一些人的居住，所以他们需要水。所以这是唯一它的一个小缺点，就是它其实还蛮不错的，只是说下雨实在下得太少了。
However, the temperature can get very high in summer, and it can feel cold in winter because of the strong winds. That's why I told you don't go in the winter. Even if you like cold wind, which most people don't, the problem is there's so much sand. All these islands have sand. And if the wind is strong, you get like a sandstorm. That can hurt.
You can't open your eyes.
It's hard to, even if you wear glasses, it will find a way to go to your eyes. So it's not the best season. And if you don't like to feel like you're in an oven, then avoid the high summer, June, July, August. For most people, it's too much sun. So again, spring and fall, it's just perfect.
好，所以呢，如果你真的要去玩的话呢，可是这个最好不要在夏天跟冬天去。为什么呢？夏天的话，它的温度会非常非常的高，像老师刚才讲的，在那个暖炉里面，在烤箱里面了哈。那么如果你是冬天去，哇，那个风很大，风大也就算了。他说这个有沙子，所以呢，就算你戴着眼镜它可能都会跑到里面去。所以呢，最好还是春天跟秋天的时候去这个澎湖是最好的两个季节。
That's it for for today's article. This is a 2-day article in our destination section of your magazine. We're going, we've already been really to Penghu on day 1. We've got more information for you tomorrow as well. We'll take a quick break here and come back with a vocabulary review. Okay, our first item here is stretch. Now, we used it as a verb. it's most often used as a verb. When you do those exercises in gym class, you stretch your body before you will do more difficult positions or activities.
好，那在这边的 stretch 是当动词，就是我们这边讲的绵延，或者是你要做一个伸展这个动作。那么刚刚老师也讲了，如果它当名词的 it's a stretch， 就是说这个东西很困难，比较不太好去这个完成。
Okay, our second item, landscape. And remember, there's also the word seascape, S-E-A, 然后那个scape, one word. And it's what you see. The seascape is what you can see when you are standing on a beach. And a landscape, wherever you are, from a boat or on the land, if you just look around, in a desert, maybe there's not that much to see, but in Penghu and Taiwan in general, there's plenty to see. Many different kinds of landscapes.
这边这个字呢，当名词就是指风景。那老师刚才讲的那个 seascape， 就是说你站在海边，然后这样子看着那个海岸那边的风景。所以这两个字都可以。
Number 3, gaze. If you use gaze, add at to gaze at, like look at, although look has a lot of other prepositions you can use.
Yeah, right.
It will change the meaning a little bit. But gaze is to look for a long time at something, but you're relaxed. It's not stare.
No.
You don't use, gaze is relax and enjoy.
所以这个片语呢，通常是用在就是你这个人呢是属于比较一个放轻松的状态底下，你去凝视着一个东西，所以它是时间可能会稍微长一点。
Number 4, hardening is the ing form. Harden is the verb. When a verb ends in en, it suggests doing or making something. So if you harden the rocks, or you, in my case, when I cook, I will harden the food so nobody can eat it.
Nobody can eat it, yeah, right.
You make it hard. So hardening is the process of making something hard.
好，那这个字呢 hardening 当名词，这边是硬化的意思。
Number 5 is a compound noun. A compound is putting two things together as one. Light, house. It's a house, it's a ta. It's a tower where there is light for ships to see where the land is.
所以老师这边讲，它是一个合并的一个名词哈，就是这个灯塔的意思。
Locate is to find, but especially something that's missing or something that is far away.
好，这边当动词就是定位出来，当然它也有表示位在哪里。
Number 7 here, curl. We talked about the curling islands. It really means to turn.
Yeah, 好，这个字呢，当动词的意思就是卷曲的。
Yeah, some girls have long hair and curly, 假歪 being 形容词 curly hair. And the last one, temperature. Of course, you know temperature. Remember, here in Taiwan, we use C, Celsius. Most countries do. When you go to the States, they use F. And if you're good at mathematics, if you're good at
it's a complicated
arithmetic, it's not so bad. But for most people, it is. So take your toy with you and translate from C to F or F to C.
Yeah, OK. 所以这边的名词当温度的意思。
That's it for today's lesson. But this is only day 1. Much more waiting for you tomorrow. Until then.
OK, bye.
Bye.